Hello everyone, I trust we're good. It's always awesome to be here. Today we'll be continuing our series on the element of excellence. Remember, we are looking at the qualities Daniel possessed that made him excellent. Today we'll be looking at explanation of enigmas. Alright, we've seen some other qualities Daniel possessed, and if you haven't seen my vlogs on them, you can scroll down and view them. Like I said, today we'll be looking at explanation of enigmas. So what is enigma? Enigma talks about mysteries, puzzles, and riddles. Okay, so when you talk about enigma, you talk about things you can't explain. Okay, things you don't really know how to explain. Okay, now for you to be able to explain an enigma, it means you are exceptional. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at how we can explain these enigmas to be excellent in our field, to be exceptional, to be different from the rest, just like Daniel. Okay, now I wrote something down here. I said, if you are not able to explain how to solve a particular challenge and execute it to yourself or your team, both you and your team will be stuck for a long time. So if you're not able to explain how to solve an enigma to your colleagues, to yourself, you will be stuck for a long time. So how do you explain enigma? That is the question. How do you explain enigma to be excellent? I wrote something down again. The first thing you need to do is to understand it. You have to understand that enigma to explain it. Remember, you can't explain what you don't understand. Let's go to our classrooms, okay? How would a teacher explain a course he doesn't understand? He would just appear in the class and look so stupid, so foolish and all. So you have to understand that particular enigma before you can explain it. I wrote something down again. I said you need to understand an enigma to be able to explain it to yourself and your team so they can execute excellently. So if you understand the enigma, you also have to explain it to your team. Of course, this explanation of enigma speaks more to a team, speaks more to a group of people, and it speaks more to leadership. So as a leader, how do you explain these enigmas to your people, to your team, to the people you're leading? Okay, so you have to understand it as a leader, you have to understand it as a person, you have to be able to know the nitty-gritty of that enigma so you can explain it to people, to the people you lead. All right, now I wrote something down here again. I like writing so I don't forget. So I said, how do you understand a particular enigma? How do you understand it? You remember I said you have to understand an enigma before you can explain it. So how do you understand it? The answer is here. I wrote them down again. First, you have to understand it with data. You have to understand it with history, with tracking the root cause of the enigma. You can understand it with research. You can ask questions. Why? It will give you a clear picture of the enigma. So if you want to understand an enigma so you can explain it, you have to be able to have a data of that enigma. You have to conduct your research, you have to track the root cause of the enigma, you have to ask questions around that enigma. So let's say you want to solve a problem around traffic. Okay, so you have your data. Now, how many cars ply this particular route? How many people ply this particular route? Is there any other route we can take? Now, this will give you a clear picture of that enigma. All right, history in the past 10 years, how many cars have been passing this place? How many people have been passing this place in the last 10 years? What other routes do people, or which other routes do people take? All right, so it will help you know how to connect the roads. So when you have the data, when you have the history, when you track the root cause, okay, where exactly is this thing coming from? How did it start? What is the cause of this thing? How do we tackle it? Then you will be able to have a clear picture, all right, of that enigma, to understand it first before explaining it to your team and yourself towards profile solution to that challenge. Okay, so I've given you what to do to be able to explain an enigma. First, understand it. Okay, first understand it. When you understand it, and then you get your data, you conduct your research, you look for the root cause, then you'll be able to profile solution to that enigma. All right, so remember, as always, it is God who would always help us be able to explain these enigmas. Remember, the Holy Spirit will teach us all things. All right, but remember, you also have to play your own part. So guys, with this explanation, remember, I always encourage us to build on whatever I say. All right, so build on it, study more, conduct more research, all right, read more around it so that you can grow as well. Yeah guys, I'll round off here, and before I leave, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, remember to follow me on Instagram, remember to send me a friend request on Facebook. Let us talk. All right, yeah, and until I come your way next time, guys, remember, dominate and influence your world. Safe.